into all of this. Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves have a heavyweight clash against Denver. Let's remind you of how this rivalry has played out the last few years. It started in the 2023 postseason. Anthony Edwards was electric, averaging over 30 a game, but Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray were just too good. The Nuggets won that series in 5. They went on to win their first and only NBA championship. Didn't get long before Minnesota got their revenge. The very next year, conference semis, they shocked me by coming back and beating the Nuggets in 7 games, winning Game 7 on the road. Ant scored 40 twice in that series. That was really his coming out party as a legit superstar. Now, this regular season series, Nikola Jokic just took over. Denver won 3 of 4. Jokic had triple doubles in all but one meeting coming up, just 1 assist short. In that, he scored 56 points in one of these meetings. So we've got the 2 superstars going head-to-head. I like the look on your face. What are we going to do with Jokic? If I know I'm going to cut to the end. I know you're picking Minnesota to win this in 7.
Yeah.
What are they doing with Jokic? How are they slowing him down?
I think you just got to, you got to send a couple of different defenders at him. It's not going to be one thing where you can just have the same defender on him all game. He needs to see a variety of defenders. He needs to make sure that every time he catches the ball, he sees a flood of defenders showing that they are alert, that he has the ball, and everybody's willing and ready to play. But you're not stopping Jokic.
Right.
You're not doing anything but trying to take away all the other gifts that might lead to momentum situations. I think Jokic is one of the best in the league at saying, hey, I can use the pass to get these guys going. That could end up a 6-point swing. That could end up sending you into a timeout. I think if you take those things away and force him to actually be a scorer but limit his other options, I think you can actually end up with some positive results.
So how does Ant do it? Give me what Ant does in this case. What does Anthony Edwards need to do for them to do what you're picking them to do, which is to win this series against a Denver team that a lot of people really like?
Yeah, I don't like counting the Timberwolves out. The Timberwolves are still that team that they get their back against the wall and something magical happens. I don't know what it is. I wish they didn't have to do that. I wish they could just, from the jump, just get on it from the jump ball, just be able to say, hey, man, this is how we play. We're coming this way, and we know exactly what to do at the end of games. But they don't do that. Sometimes they go down in a series. Sometimes they look like they don't have any fight at all, and they can reel off 3 straight games. I'm not counting them out anymore. I respect what they do, and I'm waiting on Ant-Man to turn the corner.
I think it's an important point. The game that Minnesota won in this matchup, it was a Sunday afternoon game on ABC. I think it was March 1st. Jokic took 29 shots. Jamal Murray took 22. They didn't double him at all. I think they stayed at home, and they said, Jokic, you can eat. You're going to eat anyway.
Yeah.
We're going to shut everybody else's water off. And they won that game on the road, dominated from start to finish. I wonder if that's going to be their strategy. You know you can't stop Jokic, so why even try?
Exactly.
And if you're thinking about DraftKings Sportsbook and you're thinking that might be the strategy, you're thinking about maybe Jokic putting up very big numbers, particularly involving scoring in this series. We'll see. We got splits here. All of us think it's going to be a great series. All of us think it's going 7. And Shump has Minnesota getting the win. Let's move on to the other series here out west. LeBron talking about what the Lakers have to do if they're going to do something almost no one is picking them to, and that is upset Houston in round 1.
The best rebounding team in the last 25 years. What do you mean?
Just like when it comes to...
You don't need to have a message. It's like going against the Mahomes team, and they're the best passing team in the last 30 years. The message don't need, hey, we don't need to let the receivers get off the line. We need to jump. Like, what's the message? The message is get your ass in there, box out, and rebound. You have a message. We all grown man, do your job.
I really like that. I really like that. And here is a man to my right who knows what playoff LeBron is like. You went through a lot of postseasons with that man. You probably did have some times where the world was counting you guys out, whatever the case may be.
Down 3-1.
What's his message? What is his message to his teammates?
You got to stay within the locker room. I can't imagine him saying anything besides, like, that's fine. We still got 5 guys. We still going to go out here, and they going to have to beat us. Like, this is not a lay-down type of situation. I know LeBron doesn't have the youth on his side, but he's got guys in that locker room that are willing to compete. We still need DeAndre Ayton to show up. You know, Marcus Smart will show up. Like, I have trust that he will show up. Luke Kennard's going to show up. You know what I'm saying? These things have to happen, but you have to feel like, hey, if we ride with LeBron, good things are going to happen. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk into this feeling like, oh, this guy's down or that guy's down. You got to play as if they were never there.
I think it's important. The Lakers only have 2 high-volume three-point shooters, Luke Kennard, Rui Hachimura. those guys have to give a volume of attempts, which means LeBron's going to have to draw a lot of doubles, create a lot of mismatches against a long and rangy Houston team. I still think this is a mismatch, and that is, we're talking ourselves into it the longer that we go. Game one is going to tell us a lot.
It's really unfortunate because the Lakers, and I remember playing the soundbite from LeBron where he was talking about how he had figured out how to be the third option on this team, how to let it be Luka's team, let Reeves be the second option. I'll figure out my place in all of this. And now here we are, because of those injuries that are so ill-timed, you've got everyone saying, well, now we got to play around LeBron again. It's just a terrible, so give me a quick final word. It's just a real shame they're not going to get a chance to take their shot at this thing.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is LeBron has been shape-shifting his whole career. As the playmaker, he has become the most ball dominant. So he switched position from the scorer to the facilitator. Whatever you need, he got it.
Yeah, 10 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, I would never have bet against it. At this case, it seems we are back on Get Up, and I thought this was really interesting and important yesterday. Both Luka Doncic and Cade Cunningham will be eligible for the NBA's end-of-season awards after the League and the Players Association agreed they would allow them to bypass the 65-game threshold. Luka played 64 games. He missed 2 in December, the birth of his child. Cunningham played 64 games. Only 63 were eligible due to minutes played, but he missed 12 with a collapsed lung in mid-March. Let's start there. I thought you said something really smart in our meeting and at the beginning of our program today, Vin. That is that the league means this rule to be an incentive, not to be a punishment.
Yeah, well, this rule was put in place in conjunction with the PA. It was not to exclude players from postseason awards. They want history to reflect that. But you wanted to incentivize players to play as much as possible, not to play hurt, not to play throughout adverse circumstances. That's why Cade's injury, which was not a basketball injury, there was only 5 instances of a collapsed lung, the league says, throughout its history. The rarity of it was something that they took into account. In addition to Luka Doncic, I thought Luka Doncic had a worse case because he was suspended for a game due to technical fouls. And that could have taken him over the top one way or the other. But surprisingly, the league ruled in favor of both of them and not in Anthony Edwards.
And it was good. You were saying this morning, I think it's an important point to make again with all the new people that are watching about the league wanting Luka to be able to be there for the birth of his child and not holding that against him.
Without a doubt, I think that our league has done an incredible job of upholding their side of that, saying, hey, fatherhood is something we promote. There are a bunch of great fathers in this league. That's going from coaches, top to bottom, everybody involved with these teams. And for them to continue to push that narrative, I was really happy about it.
Yes, me too. So I think common sense, sometimes not always so common in the world in which we live today, it wins the day today. I understand the letter of the law, but I also understand, and you use this terminology in our meeting this morning, the spirit of the rule. And I think that in this case, the spirit of the rule winds up winning out. Anthony Edwards is a different situation.
Yeah, I think because he missed games on the back end, he was in and then he was out. They said illness was the case. I think had Anthony Edwards and his people let the league know, hey, we're going to contest this, we're going to appeal, maybe he would have played it a little bit differently, maybe the league would have. His appeal came in on Monday. Cade and Luka's appeal, they alerted the league well in advance of all this, so they had time to prepare. And I think in theory, Greeny, it's a good thing that the league shows some flexibility, but not everybody can get under the umbrella. So if you're a player and you think you can take the chance, do you want to take the chance of not playing, or do you err on the side of caution?
Best team in the league right now on paper.
They are. Or the team will say, you will play the 65 games just to make sure.
Okay, so those are the stories from yesterday. Let's leave them there. Let's get to the games. All right, the playoffs start tomorrow. Let's dive